The Amazon manatee lives in fresh water along the river of the same name, its tributaries, and nearby lagoons. It can weigh more than 400 kilos and grow to almost 3 meters in length. Even so, many people here have never spotted one in the wild.
The manatee is the biggest species of mammal in the Amazon basin, but it's probably the least well known. When we started working here, 80% of the people in Iquitos had never heard of the creature.
This stretch of the Amazon in Peru looks idyllic. But there are environmental problems here too. And many species are under threat. Manatees are classified as a vulnerable species. That's one step before endangered.
We don't know how many Amazon manatees there are. Here it's really hard to determine the number because the water is so murky. Elsewhere it's easier. You just fly over the area in a little plane and can just see how many manatees there are along the banks and shores. What we do know is that in many places people used to see manatees but don't anymore. And every year there are more and more places where they are no longer to be seen.
The Amazon Rescue Center in Iquitos looks after several species of animal, and it may be the world's only nursery for manatees, preparing them for a future in the wild. The babies have to be bottle-fed every 2 hours until they're 2 years old. They're lactose intolerant, so they're given special milk imported from the US. Bringing up baby can cost more than $10,000 a year. Manatees are under threat for several reasons. The ban on hunting them isn't always observed. Their meat is considered a delicacy. Some get trapped in fishing nets and drown when they can't come to the surface to breathe. Another problem is that people like to keep manatee babies as pets because they're so cute.
Sometimes babies get caught in fishing nets and are then taken home. People keep them in their fish pond or in a tank. But under these conditions, the little ones always die.
Manatees have no natural enemies apart from human beings. They're trusting creatures and don't shy away from people, which makes it all the easier to hunt them for their meat, skin, and oil.
When they come up to breathe, a hunter will stick 2 plugs of wood up their nostrils. It's an extremely cruel way to kill such a noble creature, which is so important for nature.
Manatees do indeed fulfill an important function in the environment. They're vegetarian and have to consume huge amounts of aquatic plants, as they're not very nutritious, up to 70 kilograms a day. Their grazing helps clear waterways and lagoons.
Manatees eat aquatic plants like this huama or water lettuce and other plants that grow on the surface. In areas where manatees have been killed off, the plants just grow and spread across the water surface. The light of the sun can't enter the water, and that reduces the growth of plankton, which affects the entire food chain and reduces the number of fish. That in turn affects the people living along the Amazon. They have fewer fish to eat and can't even go fishing if the water surface is overgrown.
It's a real problem. Aquatic plants on the waterways and lagoons of the Amazon are spreading, even to other countries such as Colombia, where there are no hungry manatees keen to eat them. And the water hyacinth, for example, is toxic to some of the animals living there. Horses and cattle can eat this plant, but there simply aren't enough of them to control the spread. Back at the Amazon Rescue Center in Iquitos, there's been an unexpected but very happy development.
Every 6 months we gather in the manatees to weigh them before we release them. We were totally surprised to find 2 babies among them in the pre-release pool. That's amazing news for Peru, because it's the first time that manatees had offspring in captivity.
The center has so far rehabilitated 25 manatees. Every release is a complicated procedure and a big event. The staff and friends all join in. The manatees are taken to a suitable location before the final farewell. The lagoons and rivers are interconnected, so manatees stand a good chance of meeting fellow creatures in the wild. The efforts of the devoted team at the rescue center are contributing to the well-being of the adorable animals and the stabilization of the ecosystem.